Hello and welcome to this mini series all about well-being, and I'm going to be joined by a very special guest because today we're talking about pivoting your business but also avoiding burnout. Have you pivoted? Are you feeling like you are burnt out because you're trying so hard to keep your business up and running? And today I am joined again by my very special guest, Cara De Lange. Hello, Cara. How are you?
Hi, Esther. So excited to be here again.
Thank you so much. You are my burnout expert, my well-being expert. You have a background in the corporate world. So tell me right now, what are you hearing from clients when it comes to pivoting and getting totally burned out?
Yeah. So many people have had to pivot, right? And really pushing themselves. And you have to remember, we've got this underlying stress and uncertainty that's there too. So it's like a, pyramid buildup of you're pivoting, and then you've got this on top of the stress and uncertainty and the concerned about health, and it all sort of adds up. And it is causing, and I look specifically at helping people prevent burnout, and helping their businesses become burnout proof. So I like to get in there before they get to that point to actually help them not to burn out, and avoid it. And one of the big things that I often say, big tips are, the 3 Ds. So it's, when you're feeling overwhelmed, and you are in the middle of a pivot, just take stock and either delay, defer, or drop it.
Delegate.
Or delegate. Exactly.
Yeah.
Delegate. So ask someone for help. Like sometimes we are, thinking that we need to do it all ourselves, but no, get some help. Those are probably good 3D tips I would use.
So when the lockdown first happened, all of my work went from live to it had to go virtual. And although my background's television and radio and live broadcasting, most people think, oh, well, you were doing that anyway, Esther. But actually, I wasn't accomplished at running a virtual business, and I really had to relearn everything. So I went back into my overworking tendencies, my workaholism, and saying yes to everything, yes, yes, and getting myself under a lot of pressure. And then I've also found that doing online Zoom calls, team calls, Blue Jeans, and all those different platforms, I've found that it's really, really tiring. And there's lots of scientific reasons why it's so tiring for your brain. But so you've given me your 3 Ds, but what if, you can't say no to work, your business could fall down, so how can we manage ourselves when we're in the middle of pivoting and trying new things and looking ahead at like, how's this year going to pan out? And we're
Yeah.
also kind of thinking, what about overheads? How am I going to pay my bills? It's quite difficult to start dropping things and delaying things.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So maybe, so for some, or, sometimes delegation does work. But the biggest thing that I think I can recommend, and it really works for my clients, is making sure that you have like this, start at the day, the middle of the day, and the end of the day, breaks, or not breaks, but time for yourself, So doing the things that bring you joy, making sure you have time for self-care, planning your joy. I always like to say, we don't tend to plan our joy, we plan work, right?
I love
But
that. Plan joy.
plan joy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's have a quick
So
brainstorm of how we can plan our joy. But what could be joyful? Like a cup of tea? Is that
yes, I
joyful?
mean, anything that but then savor it that moment, don't just gulp down your tea and go right to the next thing, but actually sit there and going, I'm enjoying this moment. Or a client of mine, he said he loved watching TV with his son,
Yeah.
movie with his son. And but he was back to back, and he was, changing his business, and he was like, I don't have time. And we
Yeah.
sat down, and he actually, changed some things around in his schedule. Again, he was in control of his schedule, and made sure that he actually had 2 days a week that he sat down with his son, and he finished work a bit early, and they watched a movie together, right? And that's his joy. So he's planning his joy, and he was really looking
Great.
forward to it, and they had a good time.
Oh, I love that, because you know what I do? I actually do plan. I specifically put in, I like to walk. So I put in a walk, even if I have to go to the post office, I might say to my husband, right, can you come with me at 12:30? 8:30. We'll go to the post office. It will take about 16 minutes, and we'll go and get a coffee, and we'll, you know, actually plan things like that. Whereas in the past, I never planned things like downtime activities in the day because I was always too busy. I was always gulping down that cup of tea, skipping meals, not eating properly. And so I do that too. And I too love watching films with my kids.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Yeah,
and we do
so
sit down and watch films together. But it's so easy to put that at the bottom of the list, your joy time. But I'm going to make that my mantra. I'm actually going to write on my green post-it note to match my jacket. I'm going to put plan joy today.
Brilliant. And you can even think of it the night before. Like I tend to think of it the night before. So what am I going to do, you know, the next day? And I love getting out on the bike, you know, that's my thing. And sometimes I have also a small window of time, but I make sure that's planned in my day. So I have
Cara,
to look
you are
to.
so, I admire you so much. You're so organized. You know, I can only hope to be as organized as you, but that's a really, really good idea.
Well,
in the past,
you know,
when I used to run a breakfast show on the radio, I had to be in at the BBC at 4 o'clock in the morning. So we always planned everything was the day before. My whole life was about tomorrow, because obviously you have to come in at 4 a.m. You have to have had everything planned, you know, all of the cars, the guests and everything. So I tended to plan my entire day the day before. And actually I should bring that discipline back into my life, I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, but use it when it works, right? So if it's working for your working life or your working day, maybe keep weekends more free, you know, and, you know, so make sure that there's a bit of a balance as well, because we don't want to be completely planned out. So
no.
Make sure we have the right balance. But if you are really overwhelmed and you're really busy, one of the great tip is to make sure that you have something to look forward to every day.
Something to look forward to. So if you would like to share your joy, what are you going to plan? Please share it with us. The email is going to be at the bottom of the screen, esther@estherstanhope.com, and I will share it with Cara. If you want any help from us, please email us. But I'd love to know, what joy are you going to plan today? Cara, thank you so much, and I'll see you again very soon.
Thank you, Esther. Take care.